guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kajin Cosplay, and tonight we're all watching with you guys called Geass episode 8.
What happened last episode? Cornelia.
Lelouch went against his sister and he lost.
She is good. Like, I knew his wits couldn't have, come from nowhere. Obviously, there are going to be people in the future he's going to face that he won't be able to beat that easily. And it's interesting because otherwise he's like a Deus Ex Machina, he cannot be stopped. And with his power, it's pretty impossible to stop him if you don't have some wits to challenge him and stuff. So she's read him like a book. She knew exactly what he was gonna do. The only thing she didn't plan was for him to have an ally to show up with his costume. So thank you, CC or C2. Apparently it's pronounced C2, but it's really hard to reprogram our way of saying things. So it might stay CC. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, Suzaku is, getting into some romance plots at school, and Lelouch has figured out that he cannot do this alone. He needs to create an army that can rival his sister's army. Because alone, he cannot do anything. Like, the rebels are following him, but as soon as he starts losing, they'll stop. So, it's tricky, but it's intense, and it's super cool to see him go through this.
It is.
So, let's jump into episode 8.
Alright.
See what happens next. Let's go.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was good! That is good! That is so good!
That was amazing.
Because now it's gonna have people fighting on both sides. The Japanese side and the Britannian side.
But it's not even about Britannians and 11s, it's about what his father told him. He's like, in this game, if you're weak, you're useless.
No, nothing, yeah.
You're nothing. You are weak. Get out. I'm sending you away. I gave you everything, so you're dead, basically. I'm the one in power. And he's basically saying, it's not about 11s or Britannians. It's about the weak against the strong. If you have power, I'm coming for you. If you're weak, I don't care if you're 11 or Britannian. You're basically like I am. So I'm gonna protect you. If you try to fight me, his ways are drastic, But this was very, very good. It goes to show that there's a heart in there, He cares, because it's what happened to his sister. She was considered weak, so she was sent away. He was considered weak. He was sent away. They are weak, so they don't matter, but he wants to give power to the weak. He wants to destroy that entire system. And his end goal is to kill his dad, the guy with the ultimate power. And his brothers and sisters, it's not about killing all his brothers and sisters. He didn't kill Yuffie. He was, he was threatening her, and he was saying, oh, you're basically one of the children too, so technically I should kill you. But that's not what he said at the end. She's in power, but she didn't want that power. She's fighting for the weak, so he's not going to kill her. I like this a lot. Because, I do too. Sometimes it can be hard to root for a character when they get lost, in their beliefs, when they get intense, and especially when they do like Cornelia is doing. She wants to win so much that she's willing to kill hostages, and she's willing to kill innocents. When a character does that, as much as you might like that character, sometimes it's hard to root for that person, because they're doing something very wrong. With Lelouch, we understand his motives, we understand where he comes from, so we're like, we can justify his actions to a certain point. For him to say this, it's giving him a lot of points in my heart, I love what he just said, and it's gonna make characters like Suzaku and Yuffie think a second time about what he's after. But they're gonna be conflicted here, because Suzaku wants to win by changing them from the inside. So he's against all fighting, all fights.
He wants to change them from the inside,
yeah.
And Lelouch wants to rebuild them from nothing.
He wants a revolution. Like, he wants to destroy what was and create what will.
And another world from the ashes. Yeah.
So I think Suzaku is going to stay his enemy, kind of. Because, he doesn't want his way. He doesn't want the fighting. Whereas Lelouch doesn't see anything, any other solution but the fighting. Yuffie, she believes in what Suzaku believes in. She wants an era of peace, so she's not willing to kill like Cornelia or anything. So she might disagree with Zero, but she's not worth killing because she's not for the others. She's conflicted because her family is one thing and what she wants is another. It's interesting, we get to see once again Cornelia has a kid. She loves her sister, so there's a whole other side to her, like there was to Clovis. It's really interesting because it makes us think twice about these characters. In her case, she is ruthless, but the only reason why she didn't destroy the hostages was because her sister was there, but she didn't push away the idea that she might have to do it. But she's conflicted too with that. But we see that there is a heart there as well. All these characters are the way they are for a reason, and I love this. That's what makes them whole. That's what makes us love them as characters.
Oh man, even think that I kind of regret the fact that Clovis died so fast in the series, because I would have loved to learn more about that character, about his other side, of seeing, or maybe we can see some of his past when he was younger.
I want more flashbacks of Lelouch as a kid, because I mean he knows them, so I want to see him interact with them when he was a kid. I want to see how life was for him and his sisters and brothers. That would be interesting, and it would make us feel more maybe for that family, because right now they're portrayed as evil, but we know that there are people like Yuffie in there, and we know that Cornelia has a good side, not just a bad side, and we now know that Clovis cared for Lelouch, so it changes totally the scene where he kills him. It's very, very interesting because basically what this show is doing to us is it's making us believe in certain things, because we see these characters for the first time, and because of what they do when we first see them, we judge them and we think of them a certain way, and then it changes our perception slowly with flashbacks and little bits of discussions and stuff, and it just goes to show that you cannot and you should never judge someone before you know them. Yeah, and that's the whole problem here. Like the Britannians, Nina, that's her name. She's so scared of the Japanese because they've been portrayed to her as the enemy, the monsters. But she shouldn't judge them by the cover. Yeah, she doesn't know them. That's the whole problem here. The 11s are seen as the enemy and the terrorists and everything, but they're not all like that. And I mean, it's not because they are terrorists that they're just doing it because they're evil. They have a reason. We saw it in the beginning. Like their two lives are so different. You see them living in poverty, everything is destroyed, they're miserable, and then whoop, the train passes by and their life is and everything is shook by the lifestyle of the others who are living like in riches, and they're just super at ease here. But it's because others are suffering that they can live like this. And it's but it's not their fault, It's because of that one guy who wanted it all. It's such a terrible reality, which is why right now I'm like I love characters from both sides. I'm like Suzaku. Like I would want a resolution without violence, a peaceful resolution. I just know that it's not possible with characters like the Emperor and Cornelia on the other side, who are willing to kill hostages and innocents to get to their end game,
Was it in Martin Luther King who said that violence will never win against violence, only love will?
It's true. Violence will never win against violence, but sometimes it's hard to see another way other than violence when the enemy won't stop with its violence, when he won't be dealt with. It's like saying, sometimes you're going to give, like we saw it in Fullmetal Alchemist recently, giving the enemy a chance to repent and they don't take it. It's like saying, oh, you're lost. You're hopeless. Nothing is going to change your mind. What do you do? Oh, sorry, my food is here. So yeah, basically what do you do when your enemy doesn't want to change? You could try, yes, of course you could try, but because Suzaku is trying, Yuffie wants to try as well, but in that case you gotta accept that if you do this, it's gonna take time, and sometimes casualties will occur. Because as long as they don't change things, people are gonna die and live in misery. It's a situation where I like to say there is no good answer. There's no good way of handling things. We can totally understand why Lelouch is saying there is no way to change this. Like, I mean, he's not gonna change his mind. Like, the Emperor is not gonna change his mind. I have no other choice. But he's not siding with either the Britannians or the 11s. He's making his own group, and he's basically saying, at this point, surrender, or I'm coming for you. But if you're weak, I'm gonna protect you. Seek me out. I mean, he's creating his army. Because he knows that in this world, there are far more weak people than there are powerful people. And numbers are important. He just needs his pawns.
Yeah.
Sometimes his way of doing things might be very cold, very cruel if you think about it, because he's willing maybe to sacrifice people for in war. In the same way, when you're playing chess, sometimes you're willing to.
You need to sacrifice strong pawns too.
Sometimes
sometimes you need to kill your queen to win the game.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So just like a chess player, he's willing to make sacrifices. I like, though, his way of presenting his group.
The Knights of
better.
Justice.
This is a lot better than just siding with either sides and saying, I mean, I don't really care how they do things as long as we win. I like that he's like, no, they killed innocent people. They deserve to die. It's true. He's, like I said, he's rash in his way of doing things. But at least I know his goal is pure. So Suzaku is pure in his methods. Lelouch is pure in his goals. So both of them should work together. It's just really sad that they're going to end up as enemies.
Lelouch, stop killing people.
But I want to. But I want to. He left. I'm glad he left Yuffie live. He let her live. So that's a very good thing.
Well, that's the thing. Lelouch knows that Yuffie is a good person at heart.
Yeah.
That she still wants to defend the weak. So there's no point in killing her.
Not if he stands by what he just said.
Yeah.
Anyway, this episode was intense, and it's making me excited for what comes next, because it's good. It's a good show. And I got used to the fast-paced, so I mean, I'm into this.
Oh my god, 2 battles on 2 different
that was intense.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, since my food is here, I'm gonna go eat now. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is already up on Patreon. The link is in the description.
So go there and subscribe, guys. And if you don't want to, next one will be up on YouTube next week.
Yes.
So see you in about a week, guys.
Bye.
Alright.